Well, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining me for the sketch writing live stream here. Going to do just a quick little sketch card tonight and maybe review one of the other projects I'm working on. I've got two cards here. I was going to choose one of the blanks to do a sort of a GPK styled Baby Yoda card. So going to do a mashup, popular Star Wars character along with some GPK stylings to him. So I drew him a couple times in the past, just for one for my son, one for somebody else. But I'm going to do more of a cutesy version that's uh, reminiscent of the one where he's riding on the speeder with IG-11, um, sort of like laughing, ears pushed back, and just make him look more GPK-ish. So we'll get started on that. Anybody in the chat, you can. I was leaning one way, then leaning the other. I'm not sure which one I want to go with. I might go with the GPK blank. I like these a lot, and that means more artwork down here in the bottom, and this one's more framed in. So anybody in the chat want to comment on that? If not, I'm just going to choose one real quick. So we had somebody out there for a minute, but anyway, I'll just get started. I think I'll just go ahead and choose, since I don't see anybody out there, the GPK one. We'll just go with that, and I'll try to frame it up. We'll skip this one for tonight. I don't think I want to use the blues on him, since it's I always think of Baby Yoda in that desert theme. So, hey Patrick, I think I'm going to go with this one for that. So let's see. Let me adjust something here. All right. Get the cameras right. We're also going to review, kind of go over this FedEx Box Project, which I think I mentioned before. Here's like one little drawing on the side. I'm going to start putting GPK characters all over it. Here's Junk Food John, just a quick little sketch example I did here. I might do some stuff like slimy stuff coming off the labels and things, but this is the one where they sent this bookworms to the wrong address. I'm trying to recoup some gas money on this thing. So, and I think on the back here there's like a damaged line in the box. I'm going to do maybe a Frankenstein style character here and do the stitches on the lines. So this is a work in progress. This will be over probably several sessions, and I might do a time lapse on this one, but it barely fits in my screen I have here. It's usually formatted for sketch cards, obviously. But if you have some suggestions for different characters you want to see, I'm going to do characters I did for food, not for Food Fight, but for bookworms on here. I'm going to do just very different characters. I might do full body some. I might do just heads for others. And I'll play with that later. If I have plenty of time tonight after doing the Baby Yoda, I'll start on this a little bit. But anyway, that's gonna be a longer project. I want to cover this whole thing, make it kind of graffiti style, and then put it up for auction to cover some of those fuel prices. So anyway, I'll get started on the Baby Yoda. Again, it's get a couple minutes to get them framed out with pencil, and then we'll move to ink, and then we'll color them up. All right. I'm going to use this GPK stock, which again, I think I've showed it before. It's available from gpk.com. Their store was down a couple weeks ago, but it's a good GPK reference site for garbage pail kids, and I like their stock. It's good stuff. So I'm going to get started, just try to feel out where I want this guy to go. So. All right. Let's see here. Make sure I can fit them all in the card here, what I want to do with him. Because he's kind of like coming at you, and his ears are going to be kind of flowing back. He's got huge ears, right? So, Baby Yoda, we're a big fan of Baby Yoda in this house. So, I'll make sure I get as much of him in the card as I can. And then try to like add some GPK styling to him. That might be a little tricky. We'll see. See. If any of you have seen this, seen season 3, I think, of The Mandalorian is going to be out in 2023. So if you're a Mandalorian fan, you got to wait a little bit longer. My son, I like to watch it. I like it's like a live action cartoon kind of. So it's cool. And we definitely like Baby Yoda. So I think my favorite scene of Baby Yoda is where he steals steals the cookies from the kid in the classroom in season 2. It's one of my favorite parts. So it's kind of looking like Yoda right now, but he hopefully will get cuter in a minute. Let's see if we can kind of. So these are kind of fun. These are cool to do. Sometimes there's just mashups of characters where there's not an official GPK character that's Baby Yoda, because there's a restriction on doing parody spoofs of Star Wars characters in the product line. There's an agreement there with Topps and LucasArts between them, or Lucasfilms, sorry. Especially since they produce a lot of the extra mainstream cards from the series, so Topps produces a lot of Star Wars sets. I haven't worked on one in a while. I haven't wanted to for a while, but might try again. Try again to do a couple. At some point. Patrick, how are your drawings going? I know you were working on some this week. We talked earlier, and he was one of those folks out there who's dedicated to drawing all the time. It's really good to see that. Get this little curve on his ear just right, or close to right. Now I'm modeling this after some figures I saw that my son had. There's some of the Bounty Hunter series figurines that have their Baby Yoda sort of styled figurines, and I'm gonna try to model that a little bit. It's very almost GPK-ish. So try that. In the end, he may not be. I might have to just kind of make the cheeks a little more pronounced, a little too big or something, you know. We will see. We will see. Kind of want to oversize the eyes as much as I can here. Juice down his head a little bit, get him some little hairs in there. I can. I spoke a few weeks ago about having some guests. I'm going to have a guest on this month. I don't know which date, but when I post the link for the video for the live stream, I'll mention it in there. So I'm working on multiple guests. I've been able to join some live streams recently. It's been a lot of fun with the Garbage Pail Kid, Trenton, and a crew of pretty cool fans, GPK fans out there. It's been really nice enjoying that community again. I can kind of adjust this cheek a little bit. And maybe I'll just connect it. I don't know. Probably shouldn't. His eyes. pretty big eyes, so I want to make sure I can fill that up as much as possible, make him round as possible for him, because he's that cutesy factor adds up when you got the round looking eyes. They're just black eyes with a little bit of a brown iris in them. I mean, yeah, a touch of brown looking iris. And I'll try to put that in on the edge there when I do the pen work. All right, and for the mouth, let's see. Work on that nose a little bit too. You got a tiny little nose, so I want to make sure I don't make it too big. Some of this I'll have to configure some shading in there with the greens to make it look more textured and stuff. So, digging the head looks okay. So let's see. I want to make sure I get enough room down here for some of the burlap sack little pajamas he's got, because he's got like burlap sack looking pajamas, and he's in this scene. He's riding this little knapsacky thing. So I want to make sure I get enough of that in the card here. I'm kind of liking that though. And his little paws are going to come out right here, sort of, in this area. And I'm going to add a little bonus feature in there in just a second here. So let's make this the top kind of area of the nappy sack kind of thing. And then let's see if I can sort of intrude on his face there a little bit. See how that looks. Yeah, let's see if I can kind of make his clothes come up on his face a little bit, and then, yeah, make it kind of connect him back over in here. Sort of give him his little hands, trying to make him look cute, but they're also like little claws, right? I mean, they're kind of familiar with Baby Yoda. He's got these little three-fingered claw-looking hands. Might have to adjust those a little bit, but somewhere in the ballpark. Yeah, and this thing just kind of build some straps or something back here. He's kind of in this, just did this satchel thing he was in. Put him up in that. If I want to do that, we'll see. Or if I want to bring this down lower, we'll see. I don't know. Like on an angle maybe, and come out over here or something real low, so I can get I like to have some more shading up here, so I can take the little knapsack thing away and be able to spray some kind of cool like sun effect up there or something. So because I'm running out of real estate, I think I'll do that. I'll kind of make this at an angle behind his head. You won't see it until it comes out over here, sort of. And then I'll put the straps over here. So I don't want to burn up real estate down here, but I want to save it up here for some shading and some cool like sunburst effect kind of thing with airbrushing maybe. So let's do that. Yeah, digging that. So all right, I think I'll take that. And he'll have some GPK looking cheeks. You know, we'll do the cheeks that are kind of red looking. Let's fix this. I was kind of playing with that earlier. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, so either reduce it or increase it here. Let's see. Let's put it back. Yeah, let's put it back. It looks kind of cuter if it's bigger. Fatter face there. Okay. All right, let's get his other hand over here and figure that out too. So I want this hand over here roughly. And we'll make his little hand coming off his sleeve over here, sort of. Put a sleeve over in this area. And his little sack here has some texturing up here, up near the collar area. It looks almost like woolish or something, you know. So we'll add a little texture there. I don't know. We'll do something different with coloring with it too. So some of this is just to make notes for myself. I might erase some of that, but I want this to kind of wrap around him. There we go. Yeah. Put some more straps around the back here. And let's figure out this part here. So got a strap going kind of this way. That looks a little weird. So let's cap it off, sort of. Take that part away. Sort of pull it in over here like that. Just gonna pull in that way. Do a little shading in here just to make some notes for me. Help me decide later how I want to color it more with inks. So it's beneficial. Just take it with an inner liner there. Right. So far it's Baby Yoda-ish. We'll try to add some GPK effect here in a minute. Let's see, let's get this hand fixed on this side, right? So we talked about putting it kind of about over here and having it kind of just stick over a little bit. I can kind of, again, he's nothing complicated with the hands. He's just like little claws, sort of, you know. And I thought about putting a little thing in his hand here, those little cookies I was talking about. He didn't have these in this scene, but maybe I can put like a little package of cookies here. Well, people think it's a lightsaber, but we're going to put some blue paint in there or something and blue marker and make it. add some slime or some mess or debris onto his little satchel here because he's a baby. Yeah. Kind of a little bit of that in there. I think these will come out better once I've got a little bit of ink on them. Okay, let's give a little texture to the little ruffles around his arms here, his sleeves at least. Build up some of that. And again, your pencil moves. You know, your penciling is just kind of a rough to fill out what you want to do in there. When you get to your pen, you're going to make some real decisions about this. You know, for me, it's always just like a guideline, kind of like, you know, where I want to go, and hopefully end up that I'm pretty close to where I planned out to be here. I'm kind of liking that. It's not bad, not bad. Finish up that line and kill some of this right here. Yeah, thanks, Patrick. Yeah. Good, I gotta do Baby Yoda justice, or my son will give me a hard time tomorrow. I'll probably end up giving this to him. I used to draw him when I was, before I was drawing for Tops, even after stuff like that, other companies, I would, and still do now a little bit, I was drawing sketch cards at night, and I'd leave my son one overnight, so when he woke up in the morning, he'd have something kind of neat, you know, different characters, different stuff. So, but all right, let's see, any kind of final moves I want to do here. Shading here and there. Different stuff. I may add some more mess too, because he's supposed to be a little more GPK-ish. And let's see here. Let's define more where the sleeve is out. So his fingers are right here. And this is like a tube of cookies, and this is going to be one of the cookies here. That was supposed to be part of the wrapper right there. We'll have to color that to define it, so let's get some of that colored in there. All right. Let's see, anything else? So yeah, and he'll have like a little dot up there for the eyes. Probably make that a little more pronounced. Kind of interferes with the mouth a little bit, but I want to get a little bit of snot coming out of him. Kind of touch a drool right here. That'll be okay. Maybe we'll see how it looks without that. Yeah, maybe I could just make it. He's a messy eater. He's drooling out stuff here, and I'm gonna make it blue, kind of because it's from the cookies, because they were blue cookies. And maybe I'll leave the nose alone for now. We'll see. I don't know. Start doing some pen work on it. So start with my tried and true Copic multiliner 0.25. So I'm going to start with that. Let's see. we're doing on time. Not too bad. All right. And don't worry about the line weight when you do stuff like this. If you want to come back later and add more line weight, you can always do that. And I'll go over cards many times sometimes with the same pen if I need to, or I'll grab another pen that's got a heavier line weight to it. Notice too, I stop in places like this. Otherwise, sometimes my hand's stronger pulling or pushing away, depends on the angle. I like that when I stopped right there, so I know if I have any problems, I can always sort of fix that line when I work on the next part of his clothing here. So if you ever wonder if you're getting where you feel like maybe you need to stop before you make a mistake, I probably could have pushed on through and connected, but sometimes I'll stop break a little early so I don't have any trouble or need to come back and fix the error I might make. So it wasn't a big deal there, but I just thought, why push it? Like here, resuming is important too, how you resume your lines. And there's nose, I might actually do something a little different. Let's see. Grab my pens. Probably don't need to switch out pens, but I'm going to use a smaller tip pen for that because his nose is really dainty and small, and it's harder to correct that kind of mistake if you get in there with a pen and you go a little heavy-handed. So I'm going to use this point one, a lot smaller. You'll see than the 2.5 here. I don't know if you can see that in real time on the paper. Probably not. I think you can on the camera, but you'll see one is a lot darker than the other one. Up close, it makes a big difference. So. But the trade-off is it's harder to control those lines a little bit, so it's deceptively dark still. But that came out pretty well. But that's a harder line to draw with sometimes because it's so dainty. And I have even smaller ones. I have smaller pens, but that's what I'm going to use for his nose. That turned out really well. That's exactly what I wanted. And I could have done the same thing with this pen, but I would have had to pull back a lot. So it's just easier to not have to do that. It's one of those work smarter, not harder things. So see how I want to do his eyes here. Got a few things going on here. Let's see here how I want to do this one. Take it easy. I've got a few things going on. I started doing a typical GPK kind of arch on the eyes, and then I want to make sure I have enough, a little bit of white in the background for the eyes, and then just a touch, just a little sliver. Then I want to have enough rim there for the iris to show it like a little brown iris, and then the rest is black, and then add a little bit of line weight here with the arches over the eyes. So a little trickier than it looks, but I may also come back and work with that with some markers too. So and don't worry about any extra ink that'll come out in a minute because we're going to make those bolder. Okay, let's see. Yep, I think that's about what I want right there. So we'll do these dark, put a little sliver of a brown in there, and then leave the background white. And if I don't like the proportions of it, I can always add and remove different colors there later on. So, all right, let's get the mouth going here. All right. Some of this area through here, we'll just kind of define a little bit more. Like come in and color with some bigger colors. It's just a bland tan area, usually on the character, so add like a little texture there. Do too much and not too little, just enough. Yeah. Add just a little bit in. Once I erase everything off, if it's not enough there, I'll add some more back and things. But just want to go easy with the detail here. You can easily overpopulate this stuff. You put too much detail here. You want a little subtle texturing there. People are going to think it's a lightsaber, and it's okay if they do. But maybe I can adjust it or it doesn't. The thing was, the little thing was a pack of silver cookies, like a foil wrapper thing, and they were blue. So the best I can remember, they look kind of like that, but that's okay. Yeah, a little more texture in here, and then we'll come back in with some other colors. There. Let's see. Okay, so let's do some of this stuff here. Right. His little hairs in his head are actually white looking. I'm gonna try the small pin again, the 1.5 again on that, and just see how I like that. Risking it a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna leave his mouth sort of like shades of red in there. That's what it's kind of the original design, but let's see if we can. Look a little more normal there. And define these areas a little bit more, a little better. Sort of has like a little area where it folds over here. Okay. I'll maybe find a way to make that look more like cookies in a minute. It's just a roll of cookies, but I don't like it. Yeah, okay. Kind of like that better. All right, I think it's time to get some erasing going. And we'll see what we got with the ink and then go to the color. Big mess. All right, get back over here. The lines I want to make a little more bold here. Especially on some of the edges here. That looks okay, looks all right. I could wait till I'm done coloring them, but I kind of want to. A few of these a little bolder here. And with the tip of the ears kind of go behind the logo. Okay. Get a few spots here. You might want to just connect the lines a little bit better. things that might have not shown up when you were doing the initial lining, you know. All right. Let's get to making him look a little more green and get the eyes going. Now kind of make it kind of come together a little bit better. But I think he's got a good start. So let me see what I want to use for greens here. Probably use my tried and trues here, but he's only a couple shades of green. So here's a apple green. Might use that for a darker, more muted green. But I'll probably go to my yellow green 6, the yellowish green. I like this one a lot. I might start off a little bit lighter than that. Let's see what I can find lighter. Yellow green 11, which is I don't even know what the color that is. Yellow green 11. What about that? Which is almost dead. Well, that marker's just about dead. So, well, we're not going to use that tonight. Mark that on the list to replace. Let's see. How about jade green? So, also the risk here is I'm getting in different color families. So, like that's not going to blend well with that, but it's definitely lighter. I think it's a little too blue in there. Let's see. Gotta have something here. We'll choose something in a minute. You want to always be sure with Copics or any markers to use the same color families because you're going to have weird blending if you mixed these two together. It's going to look quite very odd. See? So always be cautious of that. Cobalt green. So that's going more close to that. I don't know if I like that or not. I guess we can start with this and I can adjust where I need to with beyond that. So let's just start with this one. I don't use this color very much, but let's just play with it and see how we like it. Start with his ears. I just want to build up a very light color here. So for him, light's coming in probably from over here for me, I'm going to say. That way I can put the little dots in the eyes on this side. So I'm going to have light coming in this way. At least that direction, maybe other ways too. I don't know yet. Right, yeah, I think that's going to work. I think not just any green works for the Baby Yoda character. I want to be sure to put those rosy cheeks back in there for the GPK effect as well. He's going to be just a touch of GPK on him. I do want to do more Star Wars related sketches on here too. I know I do a lot of GPK and wackies and other stuff like that, but it is kind of cool to do some Star Wars stuff occasionally. I'm just taking my time with this. No hurry. This is a lighter color too, so it needs to put a few coats of it on there if it doesn't cover right. So it's a good base coat for the green skin tone for him. This finger here, you notice, is a little more fat. Hey, Bobby, good to see you. Good to have you on. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let's see if I can get him a little sharper. Yeah, that would be okay. You can add just more shadow under his finger there to improve that drawing some, maybe. That might be okay. And I can always take it away with a white pen or something, so. So I think it's all right. All right. Let's see. A few more spots there. So let's see what we're going to step it up to with the green. So we used a yellow green 41 cobalt green. Let's see what else I got in that family or close to it. Here's a 43, which that might be all right. Getting more muted in there, but he's got a, we kind of want muted spaces in the shadow spot. So let's see what else I have. 40, which is dim green. And that's lighter than what I was working with. You can see it's not ideal. Let's see, I gotta have something else over here. I can work with this 43, I think that's all right. Darker things. Different family here. I might use this different family here to do a little more stuff here. This is in the 60s. It's a pale moss 61. So let me play with this 43 and see what we get. I'm gonna go in his ears a little bit. You know, honestly, if you find you don't have the marker you want for stuff like this, you can use different families to blend it around and make it work. But I've also got pencils to play with too, so you might go that route as well. And also, if you're lacking in a darker color, you can kind of blend a corresponding gray color with it as well. Like for this one, I can use like a warm gray, would work with a green or like a red style color. So if you're lacking the kind of muted pigment you want, you can use those as well. Maybe I'll demonstrate that in a minute here. And you can just blend it right on top of these colors and then come back with the green and blend over it too. So pretty neat. This is doing kind of what I want though. I think this will be all right. I want to add more contrast. I will in a minute with something darker, but we're not going to go too crazy with this one tonight. You get some color where you don't want it, you can always blend it out. Remember, some of this is going to look heavier handed than you would think, but I'm going to blend it around some too. So be sure to let it dry where it's at too, so you can come back and look at it, maybe put another coat. You know, once it dries, it's always lighter. And this is starting to, you see that when it started to, look at that. It was going to drop some ink on the extra ink on there. So this one's a little, pull the back cap off. Always, if you're doing that with a pen that you think or a marker that's going to do that, or you remember. I don't use this one a whole lot, so I hadn't thought about it. But I noticed it was starting to drop more ink right there than I wanted in the tip. So if you do that in the wrong spot, you'll drop a huge amount of ink somewhere you don't want it. So watch the Copics. All right, let's use, you know, we had that, not this one, but it was a 40 somewhere. Where's the 40 at? May I put it back? Let me see. So here it is. So this green 40. It's a green 40. So it's a lighter green. It's a different color family, but I'm going to use it to blend around with. I could have went back to the yellow green 41 and used it to do this too, but I'm going to use something that's more transparent. You see, it's very faint. And I'll keep doing this. I'm going to come back with a darker one in a minute and keep building up my layers of gradiency on his face. Just do little swirl motions there. You do strokes back and forth sometimes. Key is to get that ink reactivated. That is kind of something nice about alcohol markers is you can always come back to a drawing even later and days later and come back to it easily and even longer and reactivate this ink. That's a pretty good marker. It's blending pretty well. I am going to go back over this and add back in that contrast. I'm kind of taking away a little bit of it with the greens, but I want to slowly build up that little guy's pigment on his face. So I'm in no hurry for that. Bobby, did you get your return cards mailed back? Did you see any, the extra ones? So I'm going to go back to using this, or try out this yellow green 61 and see if I can use it on the places I want to be really kind of muted and dark. I don't know. It's not adding too much more than the. It's still a 61 and not the 3. So let's go back to the 40. Where's it at? 43. Yeah, 43. So let's try that. Go back here. I can just reinforce the work I did earlier that is blended away, but I wanted to blend it down in the other areas. So. Oh, good. I'm glad you got them. That's awesome. I unfortunately still suffer from the issue with tops where they can't seem to ship them to my house. So mine are still stuck up north somewhere. But for the most part, I've heard people have been successful getting them. So I hope tops will get me sorted out. All right, I'm going to color this guy's eyes. I'll come back to the green later. I think I want to play with the eyes for a minute. And that's good sometimes. You want to stop on one part of the drawing, move to something else. I would always do that. So I'm going to just use, this is a cool gray 7. No particular reason. You could use black. You could use any kind of darker color. I just know this is a good marker, so I want to run with it. Okay, darker marking, be careful what you do. And I'm going to go ahead and leave a little white there. And I'm also probably going to darken these eyes up too. If you see it's not pitch black dark here in person, I can see it's definitely a darker gray, but it's not 100% where I want it. It's okay, because I want to use something a little bit lighter, then move to something darker. So move to this 10, so this cool gray 10. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, thanks, Bobby. I don't know. They didn't respond to my email about it last week when I caught it before it got misdelivered, and I have it holding at a pickup station for packages, but I don't know. So sometimes I'll just color these black and I'll come back and add in, you know, maybe I want to decide I didn't want to do this. I would come back with a white pencil and add a little more shading on the edge, and then I would use some paint or something and put the dots. But this time I'm going to kind of be a little smarter with the marker and leave it like that for now. And let's put that little iris edge I talked about on the eyes there. He has just a slight brown ring around his eyes. Let's see, that might do it. And that is a redwood E19. And this is more of a reddish, it's a light mahogany EO7. So let's see. I'm going to go with the EO7. I can always go back to that if I want to. Just going to get that real tight. And add that faint little line there to him. Yep. Looks okay. Didn't do as much as I thought it would, but it's okay. Let's see. Shore up his little eyes right here. Okay. And in all honesty, I will probably come in here with a pencil and do a little more with that. I want that blended a little differently. And I could try it with a marker. Try it with something unique. So I'm going to go for a C6, which is lighter than the C7 and lighter than the C10. I'm hoping it will blend that a little bit. I don't need to, but I kind of want to. And that's just being picky. So you got to know when to stop too. Trying to perfect what you're doing. And I still think a pencil will be better for that. And I had a hard time seeing what I was doing there with the lighting being turned away, but I can live with that. It's not terrible for now. Let's add a little bit of color in his mouth here too. So let's see. Go with some red violets tonight. So here's a red violet R19 or V19. We'll go some a little bit lighter. So it's a 19. Here's a 17. I use a lot. Deep magenta. Let's see. And what else do I have? A 14 and a 14. Let's see, 14, which is pinkish, more of a pinkish shade. We'll start with the pink and we'll build up our way to the others. Okay. I want to kind of create a lighter effect on the bottom of the mouth and then kind of go up darker as we get in there. The live stream would be called Over-Engineering Baby Yoda. That's what it should be called. Bobby, what have you thought of the live streams recently? I thought the Trenton's doing a good job with GPK Live. I saw you tune into a lot of those. I didn't know you knew those guys. I'm just met a lot of them. And just keep building a darker layer at the top. And be careful with this cap too. Always pop these caps off. It's smarter to do that. Especially when these markers I haven't used in a while. I'm not really, don't know. I don't remember these being ones that were troublemakers, but you know. That's pretty good with a marker now. I can always come with a pencil and fix that up and make it look even better, but if you're low on time, you want to stay with the markers as much as you can. Stay away from the pencils. All right, let's come back and look at this green again. I've been kind of hesitant to be aggressive with the greens, but let's see here. Different shade entirely. Oops. Drop the cat. I don't want to use this. This is such a different family, different shade. Let's not try that. Let's see this 23 here. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm glad you tuned into them. I think they're getting pretty good viewership, and I'm glad to be able to hop on there occasionally and engage with the community a little bit more. Been kind of dormant and hermitish, like a hermit for a while, so cool. You gonna join in one of them? I am gonna add a little bit of rose cheeks on him right now in a second. I'll be happy to have a GPK sketch artist in there, Robert. It'd be good. Give me a break. I like doing it though. It's really fun. There are a lot of aspects about the hobby that I'm a little dated on anymore. I don't collect much anymore, so I don't keep up with certain trends and things as much as I would if I was collecting. So, and I guess I collect a little bit, but wouldn't say it's serious. I do like that group. They seem very down to earth and very reasonable in the collections, you know. You've been tempted? Ah, all right. Well, you let me know. We're gonna have guests on here sometime soon, and I want to try to get you on here too. I've got 3 people in mind. I am gonna try. I did it. I tried the green 14. You know I was gonna go to it eventually, right? I was hoping it looks different. It does. It looks pretty good. Blended and muted in with these, and just a faint line of it's not bad. I don't want to use it too much because it is very different green, but get in the ears with it. There's a faint line of it there. Yeah, I like it. Well, I don't know, Robert. It's unrelated to the face thing, but they had somebody ask the other night about warts or something. Like, what about warts? It was a weird question. I didn't know how to answer it. So I just, what about warts? I don't know. So they're bad if they get on your trading cards, I guess. But overall, I'll say the questions are good and pretty nice people to talk to there. So I honestly, just like you, I kind of did on a whim. Got on there on a whim to talk about the Philly show, and I knew Trenton from the charity set, so we're had communications with him that he did last year. So I'm being real careful with my details here. Just a little bit of the, just brushing a little bit on the edge of these spots where I want one more shadow. I'm kind of liking where that's going. So again, if I was being honest, I probably would be just as good with a pencil or something here if I went into it, but I want to try to keep it to marker. You know, I always feel like if I get to the pencil mode, then I'm overcommitting or I'm starting to do a more return card or something. I was just trying to stay to markers tonight. Been on here just over an hour. Yeah, you saw it too, the work question. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a miscommunication, I guess. It's okay. We just didn't understand. All right. So let's get him some rosy cheeks. Kind of GPK-ish. So let's see if I can get something that looks okay. Something faint maybe, because he's looking like a pretty good baby Yoda. Let's get him some little GPK cheeks on there. Yeah, that's pretty nice. There we go. If you don't like that, you can always put like a little white dot in there if you want more pop. Let's see. I still might do something with that green later, but let's move on to the satchel. Let's see. Honestly, my browns are kind of running low, so I'm trying to move around to what I might have. It's definitely too orangey, which because it is a deep orange, so I like using that color though. Let's see, let's go to the E35. Let's see what that's gonna feel like. That might be a little dark, but in the family I want, maybe. Let's look at this baby skin pink here. I might start with that as a base. I might start with this was a base for his outfit, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's right. I got a little green down there. I'm going to blend it out. If you notice, if you bleed over a little bit of color or made a mistake, you can kind of, just a little bit of mistake, you can kind of blend it out with the next color you're working with, especially a darker one. Or even if it isn't dark, just blend it away. I'm thinking about next time we get on one of the streams, we'll do a giveaway or something. I get some sketches that are just stacking over here. Giveaway one. If they want to do something like that. I used to, I might have mentioned this before, when I do work on the set, sometimes I like playing the GPK documentary in the background. I did that a couple times. I haven't done it recently while I'm working on a set, but it's always kind of neat. So I'm going to kind of shade around here. His arm looks a little funky there, but let's see. E55. Is that what I had already? Hit E35. I'm going with this 55 color here. It's not that much darker, actually. You could join in with a mask on too. Just don't let them know who you truly are. You could do that. Be pretty funny. I think I instigated him eating gum though last time, so that was pretty funny. 30-year-old gum. All right, let's blend that around a little bit. I think it's okay, but here's this raw silk, the shade that can blend with that pretty well. It's definitely not the color family, but I think it'll be all right. Yeah, good enough. And for the satchel, let's give it kind of a different tone of brown because it's, again, a brown tannish color, so I don't want it to be too close to what he's wearing either. So it must need to be a little bit darker. Maybe I'll start with this. The back straps here. See how that looks. I'll let it dry for a second. I guess I could put a line on that. I didn't really put a line on it. Yeah, I got you. Sometimes I do that. I always grab the wrong cap, even kind of funny. Never really connected this through this way, but I probably should. There we go. I'm going to blend this around when I'm done. So I'm just making some blotches of what I would consider a darker area, you know, potentially. It probably will get a lot darker because I want it to contrast as much as I can with that, what he's wearing there. So just kind of feeling out where I might want to put stuff. Let's see here. Go way darker, and then something lighter to blend with. Sepia. That's super dark. Yep, E37. So we're jumping all over the color families now. All right, so I'm using the E35 for that. That was too dark there. See how this looks. Suspecting this will be as dark as I want to go with it. I'm gonna hit some of the borders and edges here with it. Yeah. Probably as dark as I want. Patrick, how did your drawing turn out? You're working on a character, right, tonight? If you're still out there. It's getting late, I know. Not late for Bobby B though. He's always up, so we all have different time shifts schedule, I know. Let's blend this around and see if we can get this looking more normal. So don't want to use that. It's a little light. Use something kind of in between that E35, which I think I have something over here. Something between the E35 and the CPI I used. But luckily, there's a ton of earth tones in the Jacoby collection. So let's see. So I got some E33. Let's take a look at that. That's just about right. Welcome, Lego Medic. Your recommendations have led you to a place of glory. Okay, great. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. I hope so. Hope so. So I'm going to fill it in with this, and then we'll go back over some darker colors, or blend some more. I may not go all the way. Might just try to pull out some of that darker color halfway, and then come back over with even a lighter color. And we'll lose this light, this little edge I have here with the light hitting it. Just pull that sepia I put on there out a little bit. I think the 33 comes out looking a lot like the 35 if you're not too careful, it looks like. So, don't overcolor these either. I want to use these for like slime or cookie debris or something. I haven't decided yet. I'm digging that at the bottom there. That's good. I might come back with some green paint and do some of these. I don't like how that, I mean, I might just want it to pop out more. Yeah. We've got some other friends in the UK that sleep like that too. Long nights. That's probably why you do so much artwork, right? I think I do my best artwork late at night. I'm half asleep and tired. It's because I've always had to do it then, so I don't know what it would be like to be rested and work on things. I don't know. That's coming together pretty well. I'm going to leave this top edge here and blend it with something lighter. I'll add some darker colors in here too to make this look a little more dirty. I want the satchel to look very dirty and grungy kind of. Yeah. I'll pull those all-nighters for sure. Bobby, do you ever do anything else when you're up doing artwork and stuff? Do you ever switch off and do movies or play video games or anything? Break up the cycle of stuff we're working on. All right, I'm gonna go something a little lighter than this 30. I'm gonna try to find a 31. Yeah, here it is, 31. Which is brick beige. I've used this a couple of times. See how that looks in comparison to it. Yeah, I still think that's a little too dark. If I leave the top edge kind of white looking and don't color it heavily, it might be all right. Yeah. Just come back over that with a pencil. I've been trying to avoid the whole time. All right. That's a lightsaber. No, it's not. It's not a lightsaber. Sure looks like a lightsaber. All right. Let's play with the drool a little bit. Let's see. Some blues there. maybe even some blue greens. I don't use blue green too much on here, so let's try that. I love the blue greens. Let's see. Let's find that perfect Baby Yoda cookie color in his mouth. Yeah, I thought about doing a throw up thing where he was thrown up in the ship a couple of times. Just looks like, you know, drool, but that's all right. You guys know the difference. You were in the stream, so you'll know. You'll know. I think I'll just blend two different colors of blue in there. Or I might even use a multi-liner or something here in a minute. Use one of these Staples. Yeah, I think I will. And that. Oh, movies? Yeah. Minor spots. Yeah. That's something I don't do too much. I don't walk around and work on art. I try to do it at the house pretty much. But I do travel, and when I travel, I end up having to work on artwork. So I'm stable where I'm at, but I have to work in strange locations and things sometimes. So here I'm just a little weird. I'm using sort of a uniball silver pen. And again, that should give a little shimmer effect to his pack of blue cookies / lightsaber. Probably should have had, I was going to go for some torn wrapper stuff. I didn't do it, but so we're going to just go with it. It's okay. Use this multi-liner here to try to colored pen here to just add a little bit of, you know, contrast to the blue goo there. Looking kind of cool. Live with that. Trying to remember my lights coming over here for the most part. For the most part it is. And here, shore up this. Try to remove that silver I threw in there. I want to see what it looked like. I gunk up my pen when I do that too. Not real smart, but it's okay. You can clean it. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what the white pen kind of does on the side of his drool here. I want a little bit more on that. Should have probably made that drool a little larger. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. And a little white pen here. A little white gel pen to make the light pop a little bit more off the liquid here. All right. Pretty happy with this one. Don't push it too much. All right. I like his eyes the way they are, but I'm going to do a little circular piece there too. Give the dot. All right, maybe a little green pencil on his face. I know I kept trying to say no pencil, but he sure needs it. He needs it before I do the airbrushing in the background. We'll call it after that. It's getting kind of late. Let's see what I got here. Green light. Green light. Pretty dark looking green there. Might be okay for just shading it a little bit. You can go lighter and it's not bad. Let's see how that does. So what I want to do is just add a little bit through here. And a little around the eyes here. Just a little subtle touch, not much to it. Kind of the same spots I was going over before, just a little bit more blending. Pencils blend a little differently, so you can sort of reach out a little bit more like that. Like that. Okay. And just give a little faint bridge there for his nose. I'm going to reinforce this line down here, the shadow on his chin and stuff. I actually just shade it all the way over here. Okay, shit on this side since the light's going to hit this way. I might want to take away that side there. Come on the hands a little bit. All right. And then maybe a little brown. Work a few spots on the satchel and on this. Let's see, sepia. It's a darker color, so maybe we can blend that in gently. Just slowly add a little bit at a time. Just make it pop a little bit more up top there. And his little suit here, I want to add just a touch here and there. Not much. It's a lighter area of the drawing, so. I do want to add just a little shadow under his chins and stuff like that. See if I can hit that up there just a touch. I think it should be white. Maybe a beige. Yeah, there we go. Bobby, do you watch The Mandalorian? You like this series? Well, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight to the live stream. They're able to visit it and even watching the replay. blend in my darker areas here. Add that dirt I talked about. Yeah, I kind of agree, Bobby. It's I think I described it earlier as like a live action cartoon. It's story's not, the best, the most intelligent story and best writing, but it's a fun show to watch. I mean, I try not to overthink it too much, but it's better than nothing. That's exactly my sentiment too. It's there are much worse things on TV than that. So, um, simple narrative for sure. I'm not a huge fan of the Disney Star Wars stuff, so it's a mixed bag for me. All right, we're getting to the end with this part. Let's see. Let's add a little bit to the mouth there. Rose, I think it's not deep enough. Something deeper. Oops. Let's see. Carmine. Not exactly. I just want to blend these together right here a little bit more. That may not be happening there. Let's see. This is a magenta. Yeah. Bad. Okay. Bolden up some of the lines and think about doing an airbrush in the background. So, as I said earlier, you can always add more line weight later. I'm not going to add a tremendous amount of line weight to the thing, but I'm going to add a little bit more here and there. So, just because it's kind of what I like the cartoonier style drawings. But I think this drawing could benefit from a little more line weight here and there too. I can feel the lines pop a little bit more. Yeah, I really like it. It's pretty nice. I think my son will like it. Yeah, just about done with that. Forgive me for not talking while I'm drawing. I want to concentrate a little bit. Especially when I'm lining. little bit there. I know I used the smaller multi-liner earlier on that. Okay. I'm gonna leave the little hairs the way they are. Over a few of these little bumpy looking things and maybe bump them up a little bit in shadow effect. So yeah, the artists working on the Star Wars sets for tops, they're always doing stuff. I have done a set of them, but they are always pushing them to get those cards out. So it's they produce some beautiful stuff. They don't go for a lot online though. The only thing is they I don't know how the returns sell. I think it's a mixed bag there. They work really hard, very talented artists. And they genuinely love the property too. So it's always nice to see that. See a lot of big fans in there. All right. Mouth a little bit. Finishing touches, and we're about to airbrush the background in just a minute. We'll be out of here. So all right, I think we'll call that done for that part. Yeah, they're really passionate and good artists. I like those guys. All right, let's see. Could do a little more to the lightsaber part, I guess. Let me just try one thing. It looks pretty flat, actually. We'll just try it. So I'm going to use this as a polychromos black. Look at that. I'm in your territory now, aren't I, Bobby? You use the polychromos, don't you? Just want to add a touch of shadow on the bottom of this roll here. Or at least I know we've talked about them. I think I know you've used them. Vegetable oil paste. I'm not sure that did a whole lot for it. I can see right here it did something for me. On camera, if you can tell. But yeah, I can live with that. Good enough. Like a little touch there. All right. Let's spray him. So I was thinking I do really good with the orange kind of sprays, and I think he's in the desert kind of feel. But I could do some purple in the background too. I don't know. I think I might go with the orange and see what I can do there. See that. see how that looks. Let me get my air compressor on here. Oh. All right. Start with a yellow here. I'm going to start with this honey color. And I don't recall how well this would spray. Some of the markers don't spray as well as the others. But and being no border on this, I can just kind of hold it and play with it. So I'm going to start at the bottom kind of. Just color the little white spots there. Not too worried about overspray because you're not going to notice it. This is a medium okay marker. It's not perfect, but I have to kind of reset them too and smack them back in there. Yeah. Okay. I did a little bit. Not, it's kind of dying, but go to something a little different. Let's try this chrome orange. Pretty good color. So yellow red 4. Let's see how well it sprays. Not perfectly. Let's skip that. I might have another one. I'll move to the 16. See if I can. Yeah, let's try this yellow red 16, which apricot or apricot, however you pronounce it. Let's see. This little guy, I'm going to try to go like darker on the outside and kind of blend up to like a sunlight kind of effect. I think something a little simplistic with him. And then we'll color the GPK thing by hand, I think, with something. Let's see. At least I'll try to here. Okay. I think I'll do this in a blue up here. A lighter blue. Match the cookies or something. Let's see how that looks with the blue. This is a blue. This is a B12. Kind of more muted. I'm gonna go darker on the bottom here in a minute. Probably at the top more that white color, so make it pop a little bit. Let's see. I'm just going to go over this with one of these colors I use for his little slobbery cookie slobber. I don't think that is doing a whole lot there, but it is at least shoring up the coloring of the blue down there at the bottom. Not super dark. I'll go one more depth in the darkness here. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go way darker here. Yeah, that'll be fine. This is another blue-green 07. I need to blend them a little bit, but I don't know if we'll need to do that. Okay. I'm digging that. Anything else here? Wish I could have got more of a yellow color up in there. I'm kind of out of yellows. That won't work for that. A lot of my yellows that will spray well are kind of orangey when they get on the paper. So, but that's not bad. I can live with that. Let's see, multiples here. Spray that again a little bit at the top. Wish I had another color that I knew would fire. This might do it. Would fire a little darker specks like that. Not exactly like that, but barely hitting the border there. That's not bad. Can kind of live with that. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. It's been a long stream, I know. I appreciate you tuning in and spending time with me on this drawing. Hope you enjoyed it. And hope to be back next week around the same time, maybe earlier in the week, maybe about the same time. But thanks for joining me for our Baby Yoda sketch card. And have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you, Patrick, Bobby B. Thank you, Lego-Matic, for tuning in, checking it out. And everybody else who's going to do the replays and hopped in and off. Appreciate you coming out. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your week.